Hi everyone, this is Cem Kapancıoğlu. I'm the owner of CK Architecture Interiors and the managing director. I would like to talk about today about waterproofing and how it can be a nightmare at the end of the project or during the DLP period. What we have experienced in our 17 years of construction industry presence in Dubai, waterproofing is something that's been quite neglected by the clients and moreover with the specialists that we have worked over the years. Let me just tell you what the market understands from a simple waterproofing. Waterproofing is usually considered as a kind of a paint application with a primer and 2 levels of or 3 levels of barriers to keep the water in a certain area. During our many engagement with many different projects, we have seen that this kind of approach is actually a recipe for disaster. I want to give you a simple solution for such things that during your projects. I'm specifically talking this to CK staff and or the shareholders, stakeholders that CK is going to work with. You need to think about water as a natural resource that will find its way to go down with gravity. So you cannot stop water, you can only guide water. So from this simple sentence, you can easily understand that water needs to be guided. So it cannot be contained long time in a box, let's say. So here, what's the issue we always face is that you need to identify the areas first of all that you're going to do waterproofing in a very careful manner. We have seen here apartments, the kitchen is not considered as a wet area to reduce the cost. This is also not something that is acceptable. In the beginning, that's one thing you need to do. A key plan showing where the waterproofing will be done on the floor and on the walls, vertical surfaces and horizontal surfaces. And then, of course, standards says a lot of things about that one. There is CSI specifications, there is international separate specifications, but the main thing for these things is to understand first of all where the horizontal and vertical penetrations are. These will be the weakest links, where you need to address these ones specifically. Before any application, waterproofing starts with a preparation where you avoid 90-degree corners and smoothen them with preparations and make sure that the surface is ready, clean, and without major obstructions and ready to receive the waterproofing, pretty much grinded and ready to receive it so that there will be no undulations. Now, many different kind of waterproofings are there. We honestly don't recommend bitumen waterproofing. If implemented well, it might have its own cost benefits, but it's too much of a big risk. We either recommend cementitious or polyurethane type of waterproofing applied either with a spray gun or a brush, depending on the applicator's experience and the method of statement. So once the preparation is done and the necessary specialists come and check the civil work has been done accordingly, first a primer is applied. There is one important thing I would like to tell is that the vertical corings especially, remember my initial statement, what I tell in the beginning. I told you cannot keep the water, you need to guide the water. So any waterproofing as a complete, you can consider it as a box, should be drained. So for you to do that one under a screed and finished product, you need to have weeping flanges. These weeping flanges are not that much available in the market. You can do them practically by making holes on those vertical drains, the pipes, or alternatively you go for a specialist supplier that has this weeping flanges that will terminate the waterproofing and let the, any leakage that will reach to the waterproofing layer divert the water to the actual drainage. This is one of the key things that needs to be prepared with the civil works and needs to be embedded with a non-shrinking grout around the coring properly by the MEP company, MEP subcontractor, MEP engineers, carefully, and then sealed off accordingly. The second thing, you will do the primer, and you're going to wait for some time as per the manufacturer's recommendation. You will do the first coat and the second coat perpendicular to each other. The most important part that you have to be sure is from a consultant and from a contractor, both people should witness and fill the water necessary a minimum 5, maximum 10, 15 cm depending on the location, and keep it at least 48 hours. If you do these things, of course, this is a very, especially in a traditional construction, it's a very open, there are a lot of mistakes from workmanship can happen. You need to be, of course, record each and every stage and make sure that how serious it can cause damages in the long run if you don't take it. Think about this one. I just want you to think about the proper damages that you might have in the long run in the building. In the short run also, you need to break the floor finishing. Once you break it, you need to pay all the cost of this demolition, and then again you need to do this whole system again. So it's better to take this seriously and keep the people responsible and the companies responsible for this, even after the DLP periods, and making sure that everything is documented properly. We have done a couple of waterproofing that we were not happy, and we did them again to cover the mistakes that we have done. But now I can assure you, in none of the projects we are having problems. Even we are having problems, we are having the right solutions for that one. One thing I want to end, and I want to close the subject. Now most of the things that I mentioned you was about grade level or in grade level. If something you are doing it below grade level, which is on superstructure, I strongly recommend to use chemicals, especially in concrete, that has crystallization effect and does not need to have, it's less. Why I'm asking this kind of admixture in the concrete, especially in the retaining walls of a basement or in the foundation, because it does not, it has less it's exposure to workmanship mistakes, like the bitumen application on the foundation, and of course this is also helps, but I strongly also recommend you to have this kind of admixtures that will strengthen the concrete's waterproofing. So the more water enters the concrete, the more strong it becomes in terms of waterproofing, and is very easy to rectify in the long run. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you will never get any problem in your waterproofing in your future projects. Thank you.